Hi, guys. For those of you that don't know us, I am Louis Perry.
I'm Jamie Dolan.
And we are the Angry Geeks, and we are here. You gave me the broken seat again. And we are here to bring you guys the Godfather of horror, correct? Is that what you guys want to see? Well, you know what? We got something else for you, too. Not only are we going to have Bill Moseley, we're going to have...
His wife Lucinda is going to be joining. She's been in several horror movies as well.
So, and she was also in 3 from Hell. So let's bring in the Godfather of horror, Bill Moseley, and his lovely wife, Lucinda. Bigger than that. Come on. I want Colorado Springs. Let's go.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Very well. Hi.
This is Colorado Springs Comic Con.
Oh.
Colorado Springs Comic. This is Bill and Lucinda.
Hello. All right.
So, Mr. Moseley, or would you prefer Bill? Or would you prefer... What would you prefer?
Yes. Bill is fine.
Bill's fine?
Thank you.
You got a new project coming up. We're going to be talking about that.
Yeah.
But we got some rules first that we have to hit before that. First, no video streaming, no video recording. This is the con rules, okay? You can take pictures, but no video streaming, no video recording. Now, for those of you, now she knows how Jamie and I roll.
And Otis is watching. So.
Otis is watching. The Angry Geeks, we have our own set of rules when we do a panel. Those rules are set by our guests. Sir, ma'am, what questions can you not answer about certain projects, don't want to answer because you just talked about them so much, or just can't answer anything?
I'm cool.
There, okay.
I don't. I don't really have any restrictions. So.
Okay.
That's
please
not
feel free.
true.
Well, I mean, there is some propriety involved, but
That's okay. That we wanted to get that out. So if you have any questions about, are you going to be doing this? And if he says no, the answer is no. Don't press it.
yeah.
So how fun was it to be Otis? Because I tell you what, Otis is very intimidating.
It was a lot of fun.
Even the cartoon version. Has anyone here seen the Haunted World of Super Obiesto?
God.
Oh, dude,
I haven't even seen it.
You haven't even seen it? Even the
What?
even
Have you seen it?
No.
No, but I have some masks from it, but like some paper masks that they handed out for publicity. But I think I did see it once. Yeah.
I mean, even the animated version of you is frightening.
Thank you.
And so, I mean, you're called the Godfather of horror. I mean, that's flattering.
I think that was Sid Haig, actually, but I can be Godfather too.
The guy.
Yeah, I actually, when people come up and say, geez, you scared the crap out of me when I was a kid or even when I was an adult, what I hear is job well done. So, I appreciate that.
Because Otis is one frightening cat, I swear.
He scares me.
Do you ever watch some of your films and you're like, oh my God, wow.
No, I sit there and snicker. Yeah, that's right. What's important is actually, some people ask how hard is it to get into character, and for me with Otis, it was frighteningly easy. But the important part is how long does it take you to get out of character, and when I go home to Lucinda and our 2 daughters. It's good to leave Otis at the office. So that was actually very... And there's some people that... some actors are method actors, which means that they basically get into character and stay in character for weeks, sometimes months at a time.
And they don't stay married.
That's true. Well, that's a good point. But for me, I as soon as they say cut, I pop out of it like a piece of toast.
So was the beard real or was it...
No, it's my beard.
Really?
Yes, and it's funny, when we did House of a Thousand Corpses, of course, I did not have a beard. Otis did not have a beard.
No.
And then when I got together with Rob, when we were going to do Devil's Rejects, he turned to me. I think it was at his house in Los Angeles. It was I think Super Bowl weekend. I remember 2006 or 5, whatever it was. And he said, "Well, we're going to do it again." And I said, "Okay, great." And he goes, "But this time we're going to change the look a little bit." And I said, "Well, can you kind of draw that or show me?" And so he took out a paper plate and he drew Otis. And Otis looked like one of the Allman Brothers. 'Cause, I'm used to the albino with the lenses and smooth face. And he said, I said, "Well, that character has a beard." And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never grown a beard. How do you grow a beard?" And he said, "Stop shaving." I was like, "Ooh." Like, okay. And I did, and there was this beard that came out of my face that had been hiding for my whole life. And all of a sudden, this beard comes out, and I've been in love with it ever since. But every once in a while, I have a job that requires shaving, and so. If the money's right, I shave the beard.
How did you come up with Otis's voice? Because that's what's really frightening too.
Jeez, I don't know. I mean, I just spoke. Really? It's me. I don't know. I think for House of a Thousand Corpses, I was trying to figure out if there was an Otis voice, but I think I finally just gave up because I was confusing myself, and so for Devil's Rejects, I just spoke. It was just my natural voice. Except, when I was saying stuff like "Run, Rabbit," or "I want God," whatever. Anyway, I don't want to conjure Otis. I can't really be responsible for him. So,
Lucinda, you were in Thinner and Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
And also 3 from Hell.
Yes.
What was it like working with your husband?
Oh. Well, there's sort of a cool story that goes with that. Can you tell that?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So Bill wanted. Did you know? I'll start with another part. So Rob comes up to Bill and says, "Well, I've written a part for your wife," and Bill had really kind of wanted that. So Rob knew that he was doing him a really good favor, but he kind of winked and said, "But you're going to really love it because I don't know if anybody's seen. I don't want to give anything away."
Are we okay? Well, Jamie and I
Spoiler alert.
Jamie and I spoil crap for our audience all the time, so it doesn't matter. We're in Colorado Springs.
You get to torture and kill her. Every husband's dream. So yes. And it was a lot of fun. And Rob's very chill on the set, but he's the kind of guy you really want to please. You just want you feel great when you make him laugh or you say something good, and you kind of captive in that way to him. And so my biggest challenge in that was I was going to have a lot of blood and brains rocketed onto my face because my partner, Bill, another Bill, gets his head blown off all over me. So I know what that is. That's a lot of like special effects stuff. And I'm going to then get something into my face straight on, like eyes right here. I know it's happening, but as an actor and character, I can't know it's happening. It's a surprise. But I am terrified. Everybody would be if you have any common sense. So I knew that it was very important not to fuck this up, because if you fuck it up, it's a 6-hour reset, and then everybody hates you. They want to get it one and done. And so I kind of made friends with the prop guys. I kind of said, well, listen, when you shoot the thing into my face, what's going to be in it? I mean, what kind of stuff do you put in it? And he said, well, first of all, we're not going to shoot it because then it would hit too hard, and even if we put feathers in it, it would hurt you. I said, oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for not doing that. And then they showed me sort of a slingshot thing, and the blood brains is bananas, mashed bananas, and then they put food coloring in it, and I got to put my finger in it and feel it and everything. I thought, I could do this. And then they said, don't blink. Because if you blink, it'll look like you anticipated it. And I said, okay, no problem. Huge problem. Huge problem. But I did not blink, just to stop talking for a few minutes. I did not blink at all. I was so cool. It was unbelievable. Everyone came up and congratulated me. Nobody gave a shit about the scene. They were just thrilled that I didn't make their day so long that they had to reshoot it. But it was very macho. And did I miss anything?
Yes, your face.
Oh, yeah, you can tell that.
Well, in the scene then, after I have blown her boyfriend or husband or partner's brains onto her face, then we go a little farther in the scene, and I notice that she's got a nice big sharp Bowie knife, and I go, yeah, this knife is sharp. She goes, well, what are you going to do with it? I said, wait and see. And then we cut to this person who is whose face has been carved off, lying at the base of a tree with just this mask of blood. And then Lucinda's face is nailed on the tree. And I was very excited that she would actually do that as well. But as it turned out, that would have required too long a makeup. And so they got a stunt double face double for Lucinda to lie at the bottom of the tree with this, carved off face.
Right, took a day to do it.
And that was my only regret, that it wasn't Lucinda there with her face cut off. I mean, there's nothing personal.
Yeah, he's right. That's exactly what he was feeling. And it was a blessing.
Because there's some moans that only Lucinda could have made.
Although, it would have been nice to have done that.
Yeah.
I would have liked that, because it was my part.
Yeah.
And you have to have a stunt double do it. And although she did a great job and stuff, there is the eyes and the look in the eyes.
Yeah.
And what would you have?
And the sound.
In your eyes and the sound you make if somebody had just ripped your skin off your face.
Well, I didn't rip it. I carved it very carefully.
Carved it or whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's that.
It reminds me, actually, when I did a movie called Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, directed by the great Monty Hellman. And I, at the end of the movie, another spoiler, I am Ricky the Santa Claus killer, and I know that the blind girl that I'm trying to kill has hidden in the basement of the house that I have invaded. And so I am now going to come down the stairs, stalking Ricky, come down the stairs to find the girl and dispatch her. And it was very late at night, and the first AD came up to me and said, we don't really need you for this. It's just, just your feet coming down the stairs. We can get a PA to do it. And I said, are you kidding me? Do you know how important it is to have the killer's feet, played by the killer? And they were like, I realized later that it was probably they just didn't want to pay me overtime. But, I insisted, no. And I got the little, I was wearing paper shoes because I'd escaped from a hospital. And so, and I was, I really came down the stairs. The feet, the close-up of the feet coming down the stairs of the killer and the poor girl hiding there. I mean, that's really important. So, anyway, that's a real sidetrack, but yes.
No, it was amazing.
Another happy memory. But by golly, I did it.
What drew you both to horror? What drew you to horror?
I was going to say growing up, my family, but
yes.
I think I was always into it. I think it was because my family was Halloween friendly.
Okay.
And I was a kid, I was into dinosaurs and I was into monsters, and that was really it. My family was pretty strict, but on Halloween, we'd really, my parents would get into it, my dad especially. So I think that probably started it. Also, I was due as a baby. I was due on Halloween.
So it's in your blood.
Yeah, and I stayed in the womb. In fact, my mom made me cry when I was a little boy. She said, you were supposed to come on Halloween, and I had a little plastic pumpkin with candies in it. And I had this picture as a little boy of my mom just in this lonely, empty hospital wing, just her in a bed, holding a little orange pumpkin with candies, waiting for Billy. And and I remember crying, not so much because my mom was lonely, but just because I missed all that candy.
Yeah, that's the beginning of a horror movie right there, man.
But I stayed in until Armistice Day, so I'm a peace child, so I'm 11/11 instead of 10/31. So that might have had something to do with it. I don't know.
Lucinda, how'd you get into acting?
Into the horror films
Yeah.
and stuff?
Or just acting, period?
Acting, no.
Acting, everything.
Just acting started, doing a little like ballet stuff at 5 years old, normal stuff, girls dreaming about, playing Indians and cowboys and in the forest, and then of course you grow up and you can't play the cowboys anymore. They don't let you do that. You got to be a girl. So I just kept doing it and did a soap opera, All My Children. Like, that's really way back. Paid the rent, was very good, and then started to audition for movies like I was in Peggy Sue Got Married and 13 Days and a couple of things like that. So I had to move out to Los Angeles because it was just wasn't happening in New York. You really had to be in LA, and did that. And then I started to do horror films because Tom Holland was making a Stephen King movie called Thinner, and I just thought the script was fantastic and thought I should audition for it. There are a few questionable scenes in it, so I thought, well, maybe some girls won't do that. I'm going to get a better chance of getting that part. That's how the business works. So I did Thinner, but there were a lot of Broadway actors in it. We did it up in Maine. Stephen King does all of his movies in Maine because he wants all the movie money to go to his home state. And he also hangs out on the set, and he has lunch, and he's always around. Sometimes he likes to do the Alfred Hitchcock thing of showing up in his own film. So I got to know him a little bit. Really great guy. Very smart, obviously, funny, friendly, and did Thinner. And then if I wanted to see my husband, I kind of had to get into his film.
Right, Rogue River.
That's it. Yeah, we did Rogue River together, and that was up in where was that? Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because he would go out on the road. So I'd say, "Is there any part in your film? I'd like to see you." That kind of. That's how it works. A lot of nepotism and who you know, and yeah.
All right, so Bill, you got a new movie coming out. We're going to talk about that in a second, and then we'll turn it over to the fans for questions. But Lucinda, would you like to reverse the role and have you murder and torture Bill on screen?
Of course I would.
Somebody better call Rob Zombie and start writing a movie right now.
Right. Yes.
Four from Hell. Yeah.
Four from Hell. Sir, your new movie coming out. Do you want to?
Yes, I have a new movie. It's coming out September 17th. It's called Prisoners of the Ghostland, starring Nicolas Cage. It's a movie we shot back in December 2019 in Japan, directed by a great Japanese director named Sion Sono, S-O-N-O, who's right up there with Takashi Miike, if you guys are into Audition or some of those amazing movies, Ichi the Killer. Sion Sono is an amazing director. This is his first English language movie, and it stars Nick Cage and Sophia Boutella, who played the mummy in the Tom Cruise The Mummy, and she's fantastic. Great dancer, dances with Madonna when Madonna goes on the road. And we shot it in Japan. Spent about, I guess it was about 6 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, in Maibara. Maibara is somewhere right in the middle between Kyoto and Tokyo. It's right on the Shinkansen line, which is the bullet train, and I'm a big train guy, so I was very happy about that. And it's right on the shores of Japan's largest freshwater lake, Lake Biwa, famous not only because it's the largest freshwater lake, but also that's where the green gargantua came from in War of the Gargantuas. So,
that movie frightened me as a kid when they used to spit out the hair.
Yeah.
They would eat the whole body, but not the hair. They would spit the hair out.
Yeah.
Well, that puzzled me.
Yeah.
But it scared the crap out of me.
So, just waking up every day on the shores of the home of one of the gargantuas was really heartwarming for me. So, fired me up, got me to work, got a little, put a little extra gas in the tank. So,
can you tell a little bit about the film, the premise of the film?
The premise is that I play the governor, so I'm like a kind of a cross between Colonel Sanders and Foghorn Leghorn, that cartoon rooster. Hey, boy! So I'm that guy, and I'm dressed all in white cowboy hat, and I just have red gloves, which I think was the metaphor for blood on my hands. And my granddaughter has escaped from me and gone off into the ghost land, which is where all of the ghosts and freaks and crazy things happen. So I enlist Nicolas Cage, who's a prisoner. He was captured doing a bank robbery, and I offer him the opportunity to go free if he can go into the ghost land and bring my granddaughter back within 5 days. And I have given him a suit, and he zips on this leather suit. It looks kind of like a motorcycle racing suit, but it's got these little lights on the elbows and around the neck, and two right in the crotch area, and they are little explosives. And I remind him that if he gets my granddaughter, and if he tries to do her any harm, something will detect the violence ahead of time and explode the little explosives, and his arm will explode. So he can't hurt my granddaughter, and if he has any sexual ideas, some other things will explode. So, he's kind of, and if he doesn't get her back within 5 days, the whole suit will explode. So there is a ticking clock. And he goes into the ghost land. Crazy things happen. There's, don't give it away. Yeah. So crazy things happen, etc. The end.
Buy the ticket.
The end. But if you get a chance, I think it's streaming the 17th as well as it's in selected theaters. I don't know. But if you get a chance, please see it on the big screen because it's epic. It's crazy. It's so visual. Sion Sono is such an amazing director. And, of course, it's Nicolas Cage. You want him as big as possible. And so I would say, go to the theater to see it if
Lucinda,
you can.
Excuse me. Lucinda, do you have anything new coming up?
Do I? Do I have anything recent? I don't think so.
We just moved into a new house.
Yeah. No, usually you lie and make something up, but I'm not fast enough on my street, right? No, I don't have anything coming up. But we did do a horror film together not too long ago in Sweden. They flew us up to Lapland, and I was a Swedish woman. I did not speak, but I pulled it off. Everyone thought that I was Swedish, and it was just an unbelievable sort of surrealistic. It's called Fish,
right?
And it is beautifully shot, but it's Swedish, so you've got to get a plane ticket and go over there and see it. But
it might be on. I wonder if it's on YouTube.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's
Martin Allen is the director. Ahlin.
Yeah, and he does a lot of sort of European music videos and things like that. But that was really a terrific experience.
Except that midnight sun, man, that is tough.
Never got dark.
Wow,
it was unbelievable. And we rented a car and went up to Lapland. I mean, I don't know. I really recommend foreign travel for movies.
We saw actual reindeer alongside the road. You have to
really, really good. Yeah. And I did make another film down in Florida with Kurt Thomas and John Doe of X, and that was sort of in another film that everybody dies in. He and I both die, and I'm not sure when that's coming out, but it will come out.
And did you die as spectacularly as you did in
No, I rotted away with cancer.
Oh, no.
Oh, well.
All right. So we'll take some audience questions.
Yeah.
If you guys just want to raise your hand and we can pick, All right, gentleman in the front.
How did you meet each
other? Many years ago in New York City, my roommate was dating her roommate, and her roommate brought Lucinda over to our apartment, And
It was a one-night stand.
we had a one-night stand, drunken, bottle of wine. And then about 12 years later, we ran into each other again in Los Angeles. And she was a little hesitant to, I think, date me. But I had changed, apparently. So, and then we started to go out a little bit.
I was nobody's victim. Don't get wrong.
So we started going out again, and we kind of picked up where we left off, and we've now been together. I think it's 28 years, and married for 4.
Yeah.
We finally got married.
But we did everything backwards. We had a kid too, and then we got married much later. So we did everything wrong, which I really have to recommend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get lost in how it's supposed to be.
Whoa.
Because
it never is.
It never is.
Yeah.
So do it wrong.
Do it wrong. How's that for an answer?
The words of wisdom for today. Anybody else have any questions? All right, and gentleman in the back, what's your name?
My name is Mr. V.
All right, V.
All right, and V, what's your question?
What's your favorite horror? If you could work in any other horror genre, movie, or so, what would it be?
Oh, for me? Geez, I don't know. I've dipped my toe in a lot of them. I've always wanted to work with Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
So, and Guillermo for a while was flirting with the idea of doing an accurate 1930s version of At the Mountains of Madness, H.P. Lovecraft story, which is one of my favorite stories. And that, when I heard that he was thinking of doing that really got me excited. And then I think somehow it didn't work out, but that is still that's my fantasy, that someday it will work out, and that I'll get a part in that.
Awesome. All right. So what's your name?
Robert, I have a question for Bill. Are you planning on playing the Frankenstein's monster in an upcoming movie?
There's always a possibility of that. I really, I'm not being coy. I don't know until, a lot of times there are projects that include me on, that are posted on IMDb or some other internet boards, but not that I know of. But I'm down.
Awesome.
Because I like the fact there's no dialogue like Willy's Wonderland. Because at my age, it's kind of harder to remember all that stuff.
All right, and here in the front, what's your name?
Jen.
Jen, what's your question?
Yeah, Jen.
What is your favorite role that you've done?
There've been so many, and I think I was, kidding with you guys saying that it's kind of like, which is your favorite children if you have more than one, and we all have a favorite child, but you can't let them know it, and you can't let the other ones know it. Certainly
you can.
Oh, well, okay.
Lewis does.
All right, yeah, hey.
He does it wrong.
But it always goes back to my first love, which is Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw 2. I mean, Chop Top let me know that you could do this for a living, and you could actually make some good money playing this, doing this stuff, and that there was actually a union, and there was dental benefits, and there was a pension. Just wow, who knew all of that? I come from the Midwest. I come from outside Chicago. And my parents or my family was into trains, like making train cars and stuff, and so there was that kind of Protestant work ethic, and the idea was that acting was kind of something you did as an avocation, like something fun on the weekends, but then you get down to work, man, and that's not an accurate depiction of my dad's voice, but hey. But anyway, so and I got that job as Chop Top, and I made some money. For Chop Top, for instance, they needed to shave my head because I have a plate and a bunch of prosthetics, And I remember the agent saying, well, they want you to shave your head. And I went, yeah, okay. And she said, well, so I told them you wouldn't be able to work for 6 months, and so they've agreed to pay you $5,000 to shave your head. And I'm like, whoa, that's insane. And that was back in 1986 when 5,000 really went a little farther. And so that was, it was like, God, there's money, and, you can actually do this for a living. And so that was just a side of it. And then, playing Chop Top and working with Tobe Hooper was so exciting to me. It just really it was a mind-blowing experience that I still enjoy. And so I guess that's the answer. Yeah. Dog will hunt.
All right, guys, that's all we got. So please go down and see Bill and see Lucinda, get some autographs, get some pictures, say hi to them down there. And please give them both a big round of applause, Colorado Springs Comic Con.